What's up, folks? How's it going this watch? Hope you guys are all doing well, and today we're going to be taking a look at my top 3 smartwatches that are currently available right now. We're talking about the Apple Watch Series 7, the Galaxy Watch 4, as well as the Fitbit Sense. Now, in terms of similarities, all 3 of these watches can do all the important stuff that you want from your smartwatch, including push your important notifications from your smartphone, track your day-to-day activities, including heart rate, steps, standing time, workouts, etc. And in addition to that, all 3 of these have the capability to be an advanced health tracking device, including measure a ECG for irregular heartbeats, measure the level of oxygen in your blood, as well as track your sleeping cycles. Now, we actually already compared the Galaxy Watch 4 to the Apple Watch Series 7. Check out that video in the description down below if you haven't checked it out. But we'd have to conclude that the Apple Watch Series 7 is certainly the most advanced smartwatch that you can get on the planet right now, with the fact that it has a very powerful internal specifications, a very fluid and dynamic operating system, and one of the largest displays that you can find on any smartwatch available right now. It's probably the closest representation of actually having a little miniaturized iPhone on top of your wrist. Thanks to the larger display, responding to things like text messages is super easy since now you have room for a full on-screen keyboard. The physical dial on the side, the digital crown interface, is probably one of the best control implementations that you can find on any smartwatch and is integrated beautifully onto the Watch OS 8 platform. The onboard workouts built into the watch work flawlessly, and the auto detection system for workouts is probably also the best performing. I've had issues with both the Fitbit Sense and the Galaxy Watch not detecting my workouts, and I typically have to manually initiate a workout for it to track it. Versus on the Apple Watch, it does a great job of detecting my workouts, especially a run or an outdoor jog, pretty much immediately. At this point, I've been testing out the Series 7 for a couple of months now, and although it's definitely the most high performance, highest capable piece of tech that you can put on your wrist, it still has some flaws, mainly due to the fact that the battery life is not that great. It's rated for around 18 hours of usage according to Apple. I typically get around a day or 12 hours minimum, and even though the battery life has actually increased in capacity, the previous generation equivalent 40mm Series 6 Apple Watch had a battery capacity of about 265 milliamp hours versus the 40mm Series 7 has a 303 milliamp hour battery, which is cool, but we also have the larger display, which is certainly going to be a lot more power hungry, especially in always on mode. Furthermore, since the Apple Watch really only lasts a day and typically you want to charge it every night, that means using it as a sleep tracker is definitely going to be limited, on top of the fact that the built-in sleeping capabilities is not that great. The sleep app is really just a scheduling platform where you can set your bedtime, and it allows you to kind of wind down and get ready for bed, but it actually doesn't natively track your individual sleeping cycles. For that, you're going to have to download a couple of different third-party applications such as AutoSleep, Sleep++, Sleepwatch, Pillow, etc. There's many out there that will basically give you the capabilities of what the Fitbit Sense and Galaxy Watch 4 do natively, which is track your individual sleep cycles, including when you're awake, in light or deep sleep, and when you're going through the stage of rapid eye movement. Both the Fitbit and Samsung Watch will record your heart rate, blood oxygen, snoring detection, as well as give you a general score to gauge the quality of your sleep. Furthermore, in terms of design, you can see that both the Fitbit and Apple Watch utilize a square watch face design, which is great if you want to replicate the look of a miniaturized smartphone. It makes navigating through the UI a little bit easier, gives you a little bit more screen real estate than the cut-off corner design that you can find on a circular display, but people really do like a more classical circular watch face design that the Galaxy Watch utilize. Furthermore, the design of all 3 of these watches are fairly light, compact, and comfortable to wear on anybody's wrist. Both Samsung and Fitbit utilize a Corning Gorilla Glass external finish, so they're scratch resistant as well as impact resistant to some extent. You have similar qualities found on the ion strengthening glass on the aluminum version of the Apple Watch, and even greater durability factor on the sapphire crystal glass found on the higher end stainless steel and titanium cases. Furthermore, all three of these watches are super durable when it comes to dust and water resistant. They're in fact swim resistant down to 50 meters deep for 10 minutes at a time. Now, as we mentioned before, the Apple Watch Series 7 is certainly the most advanced piece of tech that you can put on your wrist, but second place definitely has to go to the Galaxy Watch 4. Not only can it detect your ECG or heart rate variability, but blood pressure monitoring is also possible in certain regions. Unfortunately, it's not available in Canada. But one exclusive feature that the Galaxy Watch offers that I haven't seen anywhere else is its body composition measurement capabilities. It actually utilizes a bioelectrical impedance analysis, which detects the level of fat mass in your body as well as skeletal muscle mass, so you can actually determine what your body fat percentage and see if you're making progress in your workouts, if you're gaining or losing muscle mass. Really, really cool. Probably not very accurate, as mostly tests are not, but a good way for you to reference where you're at in your fitness journey. Furthermore, when it comes to the advantages of the Fitbit Sense, which was actually released back last year in September of 2020, and even though Fitbit is really known for their fitness trackers, and at times some people might think that the Sense is just a glorified fitness tracker, but it has pretty much all the smart watch capabilities that we mentioned earlier, including the ability to utilize full voice commands via Amazon Alexa or the Google Assistant. You can see all your important notifications from your smartphone, such as text messages, emails, things like that. There's specific applications that will allow you to control your Spotify, media controls, playlists, things like that. There's even the ability to utilize the NFC chip through the Fitbit Pay app, which allows you to store your credit cards, to do tap to pay, similar features to what you find on Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, etc. Additionally, it has a very advanced optical heart rate monitor, similar technology that you see on the other watches, detecting high and low heart rates, ECG capabilities, blood oxygen capabilities, as we mentioned before, and an excellent sleep tracking interface that analyzes all the same parameters found on the Galaxy Watch 4, which probably has one of the best sleep trackers natively built inside. At this point, the only thing really missing from a safety and health tracking perspective is the fact that it doesn't have any fall detection or global noise monitor. It does monitor your snoring while you're sleeping, but doesn't actually tell you if loud noises are in the environment like what we find natively with the Apple Watch. Lastly, probably the two biggest advantages that makes the Fitbit Sense probably a winner in my opinion compared to the other two is the fact that it's fully cross-compatible with iOS and Android, versus on the Apple side it only works with iPhones, and on the Samsung side it'll either work with any Samsung smartphone or any Android smartphone, versus on the Fitbit it's fully cross-compatible. You don't gain or lose any feature on iOS or Android, which is really nice to see. And last but not least, probably the biggest advantage on the Fitbit Sense has to be the battery performance. Since it utilizes a fairly low power ARM processor, which is kind of sluggish at times in terms of navigating through the interface, but the big trade-off to that slow processing speed is going to be a 6+ day battery life. Now, I've actually gotten up to a week on my Fitbit Sense, and it does utilize an OLED display like the other two, so it's fairly power efficient, but if you have the always on feature turned off, you can certainly utilize a lot more battery life out of it, and it's in a world of its own compared to the other two, which get around a day of typical usage based on my experience. On top of that, it also has fast charging capabilities, so just in 12 minutes you can potentially get a day's worth of battery life, and a full charge will take the same time as the other two, from about an hour and a half to 2 hours. In conclusion, even though the Series 7 is certainly the most advanced smartwatch that you're going to get out there, certainly a lot more capable than the other two, you are definitely going to be paying for it, starting at around $400 for the cheapest variant, versus the Fitbit Sense and 40mm version of the Galaxy Watch 4 start at under $200 on Amazon. So it's a $200 difference, literally half the price of the cheapest version of the Apple Watch, which is pretty darn insane. Granted, we do have to admit that the Apple Watch Series 7 is a lot more expensive to make. The internal components are superior in pretty much every way, including the display, which probably isn't cheap even by Apple standards, but I do have to admit that even at at this point, the price does seem a little excessive on the Series 7, especially given the fact that the Fitbit Sense and Galaxy Watch will pretty much do everything that the Series 7 will do in terms of fitness-related tracking. It'll track ECG, heart rate, and it has definitely better native sleep tracking capabilities. And on the Fitbit side, you have much better battery life, which some people could be a real big selling factor, including myself. And if I had to pick a smartwatch out of all three of these, I'd probably go with the Fitbit Sense due to the fact that it's cross-compatible. I'm always using iOS and Android products, and I don't want to keep charging every single night, especially if you want to utilize things like sleep tracking. But really on that, guys, that's really, I definitely have to know if you guys are using any specific smartwatch and what you think is the best one out there. If you want more information about anything we've talked about in this video, check out the description down below for more details. And if you want to help support the channel, you can donate to our paypal.me or use our Amazon affiliate links. Besides that, the absolute best thing you can do is just subscribe to the channel, continue watching our content, and like the video if you haven't already. We'll see you real soon in the next one. Take care.